Hello guys, Felipe Carvalho here. This is gonna be a very quick video, hopefully quick. I don't know how long it will take actually, to talk about interpretation lines and how to use vowels and dynamics to improve your singing, or rather than improve, make it interesting. This is where we create more content for the listener. I'll just go through the song. I'll try to keep the dynamics steady, and I'll try to articulate the words very well instead of thinking of which vowel I'm using and so on. Normally, when we try to sing, we don't do that. We don't do something devoid of interpretation. But we may miss a lot of spots, and that's what we hope to take care when we plan the whole thing. Okay? So let's say that I just sang it in the way I mentioned. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just stare me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name, and it all just sounds like ooh. Okay. Actually, I'll do another take and record it so that we can compare later. Okay, let's go again. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just stare me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name, and it all just sounds like ooh. Okay, now it's recorded. You can see it. Oh, such great vocal lines recorded here. Let's take a listen. Okay. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Okay, so you can hear same. I'm using most of the vowels on phrases. I think I skipped one on my, which is usually becomes ma when you're singing, and normally you don't go my. It's quite normal, but well, it's done. It's recorded. I'll mute it for now. Keep it there, and let's take a look here. So, as I mentioned on the forums, on one of the forums that I participate, we have the same bed. Okay, so we have some vowels in here. Same is the opening word for the song, so I rather make it very. It should have a good impact. And good impact you get from open vowels. Okay, if you try to sustain the E, same bed, same E, it's gonna sound annoying. But E is gonna sound better. Same bed, see, same bed. It doesn't sound like I'm not speaking the word, but I'm not. So I'll just write it down here. Same bed, whatever that means. This is not a word, but, and then the rest I'll just keep it the same, a little bit bigger. And now the closing word in here, now. So just go for now. See the ooh is just a little bit on the ending. Don't sustain it, so it becomes na, bigger na. Okay, our song. Here I'll use the song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Same again. Same thing that we did before becomes Sam. Great. When our friends, okay, friends, don't, no E, no N, just a friend. Our friends talk about you, I'll just keep both of these on the same line because it's the same. It will make the metrics strange if I do a paragraph in here. It's all continuous, right? It's the same phrase. It's not broken down once it's up there. So I'll just keep it here. When our friends talk about it, talk about you, all that does is just turn me down. It's like now, but with an N, so it becomes da. Done. Okay. Cause my heart, I'll keep just my because it's so automatic for most of us. It's part of the accent of most English speakers also. But okay, I'll write it down too. Whatever, my heart. And now I want to create a similarity to song. So my heart. My heart doesn't sound bad, right? Breaks a little. Also on the same line. When I hear your name. There you go. And it all just sounds like. Woo! I'll just copy paste that one. I'm lazy. Okay. So I'll record on top and then I'll time align it in here, and we will hear both takes and see how they sound like. Okay. Here it goes. I'll record this one now. So, same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds like ooh. Okay. It's recorded. I'll try to time a line. It won't be easy, but okay. I don't think it will be possible to time a line. But I know it's possible. There you go. Just a second. Now this is why using the DAW to study your songs is so good. You can edit and compare, record yourself. It's much easier to make decisions, right? You don't have to rely on what you hope to be better. You can just compare. Oops. There should be aligned. So I'll use a function in here called no, I'll not do anything. Okay, so this is the first take. Let's hear just the first phrase. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Now the second one. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Now it's where the most of the difference is, but in here you can also hear difference. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Yeah. Now the second phrase. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Actually, there is something in here that's going on that you have to take care when you are comparing stuff. The volume is different because I recorded at a different distance from the microphone. I'll do something called normalize, so that I can bring both of the recordings up in level. Okay. I'll normalize both, so they should be almost on the same level. Now we can compare them more honestly, because if the levels are different, the louder one will always sound better. So let's hear the first phrase. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Now the second one. Same bed, but Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. You see how there's a difference from same to same. Now the about you, how it friends talk. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just stare me down. And here too, there will be a big difference. Our friends talk about it, all it does is just stare me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. My heart breaks a little when I hear your name. And it all just sounds. Okay. It sounds like ooh, like this one should be almost the same. Yeah. So it's a little when I hear your name. 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 The same name. This two must match, and this two. Now. See how they sound similar. Same name. And this creates something for the listener. The listener will not notice, oh, he is sustaining that or this when he's singing. Now, the listener will just hear the song, and they will anticipate what you're going to do because you're hearing patterns. The first time they hear you're doing this, they will conclude that you're gonna match this vowel in here before you do it. They will not, of course, it won't be conscious. They will not be expecting it consciously. They will not be paying attention. Oh, now he didn't do the A, or now he did the E, and doesn't sound so. No, but if you create the pattern, they will anticipate it, and if you create, if their prediction comes true, if they predict what you're going to do with your interpretation, they will relate to it. You see, it's like a game. It's like a game. It's matching stuff. So he did first down, and now he also down and now match. So if he sang same in here, they will expect something like name or game or whatever on the ending word, and that creates a very good connection to the listener because he will know what you're going to do before you do it. And plus that, after you provide a few, you feed this a little bit, you create the pattern and reinforce it through the song, you can break it, and that will also sound cool because you will because the listener is now anticipating what you're going to do. Whatever you do that is different will have a bigger impact in his experience. Okay, so that's an idea about the vowels of the sound and of the song and where to sustain them. Now I'm going to talk about dynamics. Let's take a look on our lyrics again. So, same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. So it's kind of linear right now, right? Okay, let me see where I can find colors. Here are the colors. So I'm going to use red for strong. Red. Those words are the ones that I want strong on my singing. I'm going to be very strong. Yeah, this one too. Down too. What else? Okay, here. Yeah, those are the strong points that I want. On the opening, same bad, I want same strong too, because it's the opening of the song. You want to be on the face of the listener right away. Don't usually when you begin a song, don't retract yourself. Don't be too shy, because it may take away the interest right away, and to get it again is hard, man. So those are the strong points. Now the weak points, the soft points. I want this to be soft. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Yeah, that's good. When our friends talk about you out the deserts, but stare me down. Yeah. 'Cause my heart, okay, now it's soft, breaks a little when I hear your name. Soft too, very gentle voice here. Okay. Oh, and it all just sounds like, and it all just sounds like, ooh, this is all soft. Awesome. Ooh, ooh, ooh is actually falsetto. I'm gonna use something to say that's falsetto. Italic for falsetto. Ooh, that's good. Okay. So whatever is not painted on a color is gonna be middle intensity. You can use whatever other kind of notation that you want, but I'll tell you, after a while you get the hang of how to do those things instinctively. But first, I really believe you should take your songs down and write it down. Write down what you're gonna do. Plan it. It's better than leave it to randomness or something like that. So I'm gonna go on top of this. I'm gonna record another take and see how it goes. And I'll try to follow what I wrote there. Okay, so here goes nothing. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name, and it all just sounds like ooh. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. I'll remove the mute, align it again to make it easier to compare what I did. Blah, 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 blah. It's kind of boring, but it's necessary. Yeah. Now you can see the difference in dynamics in here, right? Look at that. Oh yeah. Now we need to hear what's going on to make sure that it sounds nice, right? Again, I'll normalize it because of the volume to make sure it's all almost at the same volume so that we can compare. Now let's listen to the first one. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. In comparison to the last one where it was kind of undefined. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. In there, just the vowels are making the dynamics. When you have an open vowel, the dynamics increase. It's normal. You can see on the I can do it right here, and you will see the difference. I'll sing A. I'll not do much effort. A. Now vowel ooh. Ooh, you can test it yourself. You will see the difference in here in loudness. Not necessarily the level of energy that you hear here will translate into power or how loud it sounds. For example, if I do a E like this, you will see that there is a difference in level, but when you hear it on the phones, it doesn't become that different because of the way I'm producing the E. But the E is a special case, especially when I do it in this manner. I'm using resonance in a very specific way that creates the illusion of sounding louder. It actually sounds louder because of the way we hear. If you take away your earphones, you'll probably be able to hear the E even with the phones away from you. That's just how your hearing behaves. But anyways, That's enough. So open vowels sound louder, closed vowels sound and are quieter. So let's continue now in here. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. So now there is a crescendo in here. Let's compare it. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. Okay. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. Okay, there is a mistake in here. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. Because when we planned it, friends should be strong, and friends is not strong here. Friends now is middle. Our friends talk about it's kind of insecure, right? So I'll just record it over, right? This is a good trick. I'll select on my DAW the functions that do it. Are these. So basically I selected the area that I want to replace. I'm gonna let the song roll and I'm gonna record it properly on top of that. So the lyrics you should have a metronome going when you do this, but I'll do it by visuals or something. Let's see what happens. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart... Yeah. Almost there, but... When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. Kind of the same as this one, so that's what we wanted. The pattern is going on. Now, note what will happen in this phrase. My heart breaks a little when I hear your name. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. Now, this one begins weak, like this one. And then it increases in intensity, like this one does. But this one goes very loud in the ending. And this one goes quiet again. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. So it goes soft, medium, soft. And that creates a kind of counterpoint like the one that we talked about before. We break the expectation of the listener right away. Just in one thing, it's the beginning of the song, so there is not many references built yet. So you can't just start messing around. If you don't have the patterns defined, you don't have something to break. So it may, if you overdo, it may sound random. It may sound like you don't know what you're doing. That's not what you want. And the ending is all the same. Just sounds like ooh. Actually, I like the ending better now that I defined it that soft. I think I was doing something. All just sound like ooh. You see, I'll just sound like all just sounds like ooh. Much better like this. And that's it. That's one song, one way to approach it. We have the planning down on paper with colors, so that's awesome. But then again, don't overdo. Use it only a little bit. You know, it's better to save it to make a difference than to overdo everything and overload the listener with a lot of different qualities that you're trying to show off. The bottom line is, plan something that makes sense, something that's not that on your face, but that has some continuity to it, that has a logic behind it, that the listener can listen, and even without noticing, anticipating what you were going to do. That's how you convey something personal. You know, that's how you play around with those stuff, and how you organize them. That's what will create your own thing on the listener, right? I hope it helps. Oh yeah, let me show you something about the lower dynamics. That's very important too. I've almost forgot about it. When you're singing stuff and you drop the dynamic level, it will sound quieter, of course. And most of the time, especially if you're doing some recording using an existing backing track, the song is on the same level all the way. Even when there is variations in quality, it remains on the same level. So we have to use a compressor to make up for those differences. You see the values in here. If you don't use a compressor, when you drop the dynamics, when you use a closed vowel, when you are a bit quieter to create the difference, your voice will disappear on the mix. But even if you brought the level up, because you drop the dynamics, it creates a difference on quality, and that's what we want. It doesn't matter the level. What matters is the quality that you produce it in here in relation to this. So I'll just compress the levels. I'll make everything that's loud quieter, and then I'll turn up the volume on all of it, and it will be something like this. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. See, this is the compressor. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about it, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds like ooh. Of course, you shouldn't be able to hear the breaks between takes. You shouldn't be doing lots of takes on a finished studio, of course. You should just sing the whole thing after you planned it and you know what you're gonna do. Not gonna need to do tons of different takes to define it. But it's good to do it when you're studying, to test the ideas, right? So that you know if things sound good or not. Then you can change it, do whatever you want. If you overdo compression, same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio. The breathing is too loud and everything. So. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Now the open vowels. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. There is gain, turning up the volume on the lower parts. And this same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. See, everything sounds more even. I'll turn off the compressor so that you hear the difference. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. See? Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys like it, I can continue exploring this on different styles and songs, but the general idea is just that, to plan it, make a pattern, break that pattern when you want, and so on. I can do a whole studio on a song without going through all these details so that you can hear the end result of how a pattern changes, will be on a complete song, right? But for now, this is it, a tutorial on interpretation lines and how to write these things down in a manner that makes sense to you when you're studying your songs. Okay, thanks for watching.